Hey everybody, happy to be here and represent VIVERSE. My name is Andronic. I'm the head of growth at VIVERSE, and we also have James Kane with us, who is a creator in residence. He was one of the early creators in our creator program that later on joined onto the staff to help our community. Cool, if you want to go to the next slide. So what is VIVERSE? Maybe we can watch the video first and then I'll talk about it. So ViVERSE is a 3D content distribution platform. You can think of it kind of like YouTube for 3D content. That could be games, as you saw, which is the most relevant, I think, for this game jam, but it could also be hangout spaces or even just showing off products that you can embed on your Shopify. Anything that you can produce as something that's 3D rendered, you can upload onto our site and then use it as a host, essentially. And we also curate the front page. It's a way to get your content discovered and played. And yeah, I think that's the main purpose, really, is just to have a free destination to distribute this stuff. If you want to go to the next slide. So I'll show you like three of the, I think, what we consider the best experiences right now on the platform. So if you want to play this one.
I do not know this place.
The Archduke is dead.
Will they show to me?
You know as well as I that war is coming, traveler. Vienna's artist dares see the world anew, but can society follow? A troublesome development in my view.
So that was a little teaser of a James project, actually, which is an interactive narrative experience. And we see a lot of that coming onto the platform these days. And yeah, definitely something that we look for in our creator program. And if you want to go to the next one.
You're awake. Took you long enough. The crew, gone. The ship, broken. The chance of survival, low. Do you think you can solve the mystery? Don't worry, I believe in you. Sort of.
So Ship Happens is more of like a traditional kind of video game. ViVERSE does come with multiplayer built in, but since you're going to be producing stuff on Niantic Studio, you'll have a different set of capabilities there. But the team will help later on at the end of the project if you're one of the selected winners to export the game and then have it uploaded onto ViVERSE. And yeah, I mean, we look for things like this too. Anything that can have a long like retention time, things that keep people's interest. And we also look for things that are kind of have a high replay value, something that's fun that can be like bring people back all the time to the platform. That's something that's of high interest to us. If you want to go one more, just want to show like the crazy range of things that people make. So this is just a really short clip of another experience. So this is like, it used to be an actual projection mapping project that was then later turned digital and brought to VIVERSE. And yeah, you can see this is like a 2D scroller kind of in a 3D space. So the platform can support all sorts of different types of content. And yeah, it's really only up to your imagination of what you can build. Step forward. So our creator program, it's open to the public right now. The way it works in general is people come to our site, they apply, they ask for a certain amount of funding, and they describe what they're going to do, how they're going to bring audiences to our platform, what their content's going to look like, how long it's going to take. But for this game jam, basically the top 3 winners will get automatic entry into the creator program, and will pay half upfront on signing, and then we won't expect you to expand your project much, maybe just do some polish and fix any bugs and stuff that are remaining. And then once you publish it to VIVERSE, which the Niantic team will help with exporting the project for you, then you'll get the remaining funds. If you want to step forward to go through the different levels, or one more. Okay, so first place gets 10,000 in the creator program. So you'll get 5K up front, and then we'll work with you to figure out what needs to happen to get it onto VIVERSE. And then once it's actually published, then you'll get the remaining amount, and we'll make sure to feature you on the front page. It's a great opportunity. We also post it on socials and try to help get your name out there. We'll retweet and things like that. And yeah, and you'll get support directly from our team and on our Discord. Second place gets 6,000, and then if you go one more forward, then third place gets 4,000. And yeah, that's VIVERSE's kind of role in this game jam, and we're super excited to see what you guys produce.
Cool. Thank you, Andronic. And then we do have James with us. So before I jump into the 8th Wall Prize section, I'm curious, James, as an alumni of the creator program on VIVERSE, what was that process like for you?
Yeah, I was like Andronic said, I was one of the early creators to get involved like late last year. So I've been primarily building for Play Canvas, so I will say that. And that's a really nicely supported SDK and stuff. But the community has been super supportive and great. I'm so impressed by all the talent that is already coming into the creator program, like people I've been a fan of for years. For instance, we just released a game called, or more of an experience called To the Limbs. And it's a sort of musical, experimental musical visual experience that just won a Webby Award for Best Independent Music Feature. So I've been a fan of that creator, Peter, I want to say Adams, but I've been a fan of his for years. I know his Discord name, not his last name, unfortunately. But yeah, to that point, it's just everybody's really supportive and really open to a wide variety of content. I do think that replayability and those fun, fast game loops are kind of the thing everybody loves a hit, right? So that's kind of the thing folks are looking for. But yeah, it's open to a wide variety of creative potential and possibilities too. So yeah, really strong community and really helpful folks and talented folks and a wide range of creative potential would be the things I would focus on.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, James. All right, and I can't go without saying that this is the biggest prize pool that we've had for a challenge or game jam on Eighth Wall. So huge shout out to Vivers for coming in and creating such big prizes. But now we'll jump into the prizes that we have on the Eighth Wall side. So if you're not one of the top three, you are still in the running for a couple of other prizes. So we have 2 prizes for most addictive gameplay, and you might start to see a theme here that gear you towards creating a game that fits what Viverse is looking for their creator program, right? So this prize will go to entries that feature tight, engaging mechanics and a gameplay loop that keeps players coming back for more, just like Andronic mentioned earlier, what's going to keep people on the Viverse site. Most polished experience. So this prize, again, 2 available. This prize goes to games that feel ready for prime time, from UI to controls to visual presentation. These entries deliver a smooth and cohesive experience. And then new for challenges / game jams for Eighth Wall this time around is we are featuring best student games. So these will go to those that are openly and currently enrolled in universities or recent graduates. So we will probably be using .edu emails for verification on this, but this is new and we're really excited about this to kind of further engage those that are still in school and wanting to participate in these game jams. So if you volunteer at a university, or a part of a club, or teach, this would be great to promote. And then lastly, we have 4 additional honorable mention prizes at $250 each that are available to everyone. So next up is the judging criteria. So for those of you that are part of the Eighth Wall community that have participated in our challenges, you've grown familiar with what our judging criteria looks like up until this point, but we've made some pretty big changes. So we've completely revamped the judging criteria for this specific game jam to help steer you in the right direction to create the best possible games for the VIVERSE Creator Program, but also just to create really great games that feature how powerful of a tool Niantic Studio is. So the first judging criteria is gameplay depth and replay value. So again, you're seeing that theme there. Are there mechanics that engage, replaying, progression variation, increasing challenge, things along that nature? Second is creativity and game design. Is the concept original and well designed? We're looking for games that bring fresh ideas to life here. Again, the next one is technical execution. Is the game stable, responsive, and well structured? Submissions will be evaluated based off of clean architecture and efficient asset handling. So in this specific game jam, strongly recommend going 3D. I know some of you that are familiar with the Eighth Wall community are probably thinking about, like, what can I do with a web AR game? But for the sake of polish and replayability, I strongly recommend going down the 3D path for this game jam. And then lastly, visual and UX polish. So here we're looking for, does the experience feel complete and intuitive? So that is very similar to our previous criteria, which was completeness. So you just see some similarities here, but you'll also notice that there are significant differences, all geared towards getting you all the best possible chances for getting on the VIVERSE Creator Program. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest updates that we've made for this game jam is we are moving away from hosting them on itch.io and we're bringing them home to eighthwall.com. So if you haven't already signed up on eighth.io/game jam, I strongly encourage you go do so. Not only because it's on eighthwall.com and it looks super cool, so shout out to Evan who put this page together, but also because this is where you'll see all of the information that you need that we just went over, and you will also have the ability to RSVP for the upcoming events and join our Discord, go to our forum for technical help from our developer support engineers, and review Niantic Studio documentation. So all needed information is there, but as well, you're also on eighthwall.com already. So you can go to your workspace from here, you can check out the project library to get started. So there's so much more that you can do more directly from the submission site as opposed to what we used to have on Itch, where we just had a bunch of links and you had to scroll through them all and try to find them. So really excited about this. A huge shout out to Evan for making this change for us. Alrighty, I think that is it. We have time for questions now, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the Zoom Q&A as we're going through this. If you have any additional questions, we can raise your hands or drop them in the Q&A, and I will go in order based off of how they come in. So first question is coming in from Declan. Do Viverse experience need to be deployed to web, VR, and mobile, or can you pick which device types to deploy to? I think that's a question for the Viverse team.
I would say the bulk of our audience currently is on desktop and mobile, so I think if you want to focus your efforts there, that's fine. We do support WebXR entry, so I'm not sure about how's Niantic Studio support for immersive VR and
Yeah, George, do you want to jump in there and as far as like recommendations here?
Yeah, so right now the immersive VR tools are in development, not there yet. So definitely don't build your experience with that in mind.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Room. Sorry for those of you who are just joining. The bulk of the info session is already over. We're in Q&A now, but we did record this and we will be uploading it to the 8th Wall YouTube shortly after. Next question is from Zara. Do you have preference for particular genre? Or are there any genres that do not qualify to participate? I think the only really like things to keep in mind is go check out the full legal rules for participating. There's a couple of not to put it in simple terms, not safe for work things that we won't be accepting as far as like what won't be accepted into the game jam. But aside from that, really any genre is it's fair game. Yeah, we will link the rules here. 1 second.
I have the rules, I'll drop them in.
Ah, nice. Thank you. I'm usually the one that's fastest. Andronic is to the rescue. Cool. All right. Thank you so much. But yeah, any genres, you can create a game and must be single player or multiplayer. That's a great question. So follow-up question to that. Right now, we do not have the ability to do multiplayer games in studio, correct, George? Megan, I see you nodding. Yeah. So definitely focus on single player games for now. And I'm seeing a lot of questions coming up in the chat, so I'll get to those after I answer the ones that did it right in the Q&A. Not calling you out or anything, but kind of. All right, so another question from Zara. If I already have a prototype working and iterating, will I be able to participate in the game jam with an existing prototype? If you haven't submitted, yes, you can definitely still use that to submit for this game jam. However, I'm not familiar with you, Zara. So maybe you're new to Niantic Studio. Maybe you've been building this in another engine. So make sure first and foremost that it's built on Niantic Studio. And then, yeah, definitely use that game to submit. I know a couple of other folks have done that in the past where they've been prototyping, waiting for the right challenge, waiting for the right game jam, and then boom, it just falls on your lap. So yeah, definitely use that. Next question from Sound Guy. Is there any sense in doing anything with VPS for this jam? Great question. I don't recommend it for this game jam. First and foremost, VPS is really difficult to build with already as it is. We did just have a VPS and Gaussian Splat challenge, so we're moving to something different for this one. So I strongly recommend going down the 3D path, but that doesn't mean that your submission will be disqualified if it is VPS or if it's world in any way. So it's really up to you, but strongly recommend going down the 3D website. Will there be a theme for this jam? No. So I think that may be coming from someone that's used to our past challenges where we do some sort of theme. Our last challenge had like a call to action theme, calling on developers to think about how they can use their experiences for good in the world. No theme in this one, just game. Think about games. That's pretty much the big theme. All right, so I'm gonna come back to the chat. So it's not at all about web AR, world AR type of games, aka VPS. Not necessarily that it's not about this. We're just strongly recommending that you go down the 3D web path for this game jam. Will there be any workshops soon? Yes. Sorry you missed it. I think we talked about it earlier, but if you go to eighth.io/events, I'll drop that link one more time in the chat, and you'll see a Niantic Studio workshop scheduled for next week on Tuesday. If you can't make it live, no worries. Just like with all of our programming for these challenges and game jams, we will post it on the AFOL YouTube, and that's going to be led by George, who's going to be making a fun rock, paper, scissors game. And he'll be doing a deep dive into the code that it takes to build that. So really excited for that. And then I see a hand raise from Gabby. So you can go ahead and unmute, Gabby.
Thank you. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm wondering for students, if it's a team that has some students on it and then some non-students, how will that work?
Yeah, I just make sure that the main person submitting is the student. That's okay. I know that in some cases there's going to be a mix of students and non-students. Or a broader range. We wanted to appeal to the fact that there's a lot of students joining Eighth Wall and testing out Niantic Studio, and it's summertime. So maybe some of you are looking for something to do. So this is a great time to take advantage of this game jam. There's some questions about AWE next month. I think we will be there. Niantic Spatial will definitely be there. Some of Eighth Wall team will be there. So if you're going to AWE, send me a message. Maybe we can meet up. Can you please clarify for what target device the game must be running, mobile, desktop, without an example, or just running in the browser, VR headset? Yeah, so primarily the goal is to make sure that these games run well on mobile and desktop and their 3D web. So less so thinking about like VR headset. Ooh, great question. You previously said focus on 3D, but will 2.5D work as well? Maybe I'll turn this to Andronic, who just shared a sample of a game that seemed to take that into account.
Whoa. What was the question?
So we previously said focus on 3D, but will 2.5D work as well? And I saw James nodding his head, so maybe you can chime in as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, anything that I guess runs in the engine and can export to VIVERSE should work. So 2.5D is totally fine. Even 2D is okay.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, Zara, I had a feeling this follow-up question might come from you because you were talking about prototyping. Just to clarify.
Hi, Pablo. Really sorry, I can't turn my camera on. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, I'm very new, as you guessed. You've never seen me before, but yeah, please go ahead and answer. Thank you.
Yeah. So all the games submitted for this game jam must be built with Niantic Studio on eighthwall.com, not Unity.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're new to Niantic Studio, there's a lot of great tutorials on eighthwall.com/tutorials. And there's also, if you just go to our YouTube, there's been some really amazing studio workshops that have been led by Jamika, which also a really good dive into.
Okay, I'll have a look. Thanks.
Thank you. Alrighty, any other questions? Going once, going twice. It's only 11:30, so we still have 30 minutes. What are we gonna do? All right, so as I mentioned earlier, if we had time, we would go to you all to see if you have any games that you're interested in pitching. Andronic and James are here, so they can give some feedback. We also have Megan and George, who are also good folks to give feedback. So if you have any games, drop in the chat. I know sometimes there's like some secretive aspect to it because you don't want to give away all your tips and tricks. Final date to submit is June 30th. How long can the gameplay be to consider it as a demo game? That's a good question. James and Andronic, what would you recommend on that?
I think it sort of depends on your genre, but like some very short game loops is sometimes a strength. If it's a 60-second, 90-second, 2-minute game loop that's repeatable and playable and different and fun each time, that can work. My narrative experience is more like a full story and everything, and I had 3 months to produce that, so that was more like 15 minutes of content or something, so that might be a little ambitious to do something like that in this time, but it's really up to you. I think that's my perspective.
Yeah, I think that's valid. As long as it feels semi-complete, or at least the beginning of something that could later be something bigger, I think it's totally fine.
Awesome. Cool. And then there's two questions that seem to be related. Are there any features from Studio that would definitely not port over to VIVERSE? That is a great question. We will be doing a deeper dive into this internally, but we will also be reviewing it in the final event of our programming, which I believe is on May 27th. I should have memorized all these dates before going here. Yes, May 27th. So that event on the Bevy site, events.athwell.com, has a little bit of a broad description, but that is what we will be covering. So we will have both Andronic and James coming, and then we'll also have members from the Eighth Wall team coming along and doing a comparison of what you can build that will work. Will we be making a specific section in Discord for this? There already is. We need to just change the name of the channel. It's currently called Challenges, but we'll change that to Game Jams in the Eighth Wall Discord. And if you're looking for teams, that is definitely a place to post and see if anyone is interested in joining up. Yes, Peter, you can definitely remake games that you made in the Niantic editor with Niantic Studio. I would just check to make sure that it's not a feature that is not available in Niantic Studio before you do that. And happy to have that chat offline. Oh, yes. Siaka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, please correct me. But are there any restrictions with the 3D assets that we want to use for our game? Yeah, if you take a look at the rules, we do ask that you, at bare minimum, have full permission to use those assets. Ideally, they would be original assets, whether you created them or rendered them using AI. That would be preferred. I haven't seen anyone volunteer to pitch their game. I'm not surprised. Every time we've done these, no one wants to show off what they're trying to build. Yeah. Gotta keep it hush hush. Yeah, I get it. I get it. All right, if you don't have any ideas yet, that is totally fine. We are early. You have until June 30th to submit. We totally get it. Next week, we'll be able to do a deep dive into Niantic Studio. You'll be able to see what it's capable of a little bit more, take some time in the docs, and then I'm sure those ideas will start coming to mind. Or if someone else has an idea, then maybe it's time to join a team. But yeah, I think that's it for questions. I'm more than happy to wrap up early. That makes life easier for the replay. Andronic, James, anything that you'd like to add before we close up?
No, thank you guys for having us, and we look forward to seeing what people make.
Same, excited to be doing this, and yeah, eager to get some more folks in the VIVERSE creator ecosystem.
Awesome. And then Megan, I see you smiling. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm just super excited. Huge prize pool, huge opportunity for being like huge visibility on VIVERSE front page. So really, really just excited to see what people create, and just excited for the people who win. It's a huge opportunity. So